All right, it's probably working.
Hair okay? Bald spot covered.
All right,
Mhm.
good. Here we go. We are now at this broadcast time. I'm just making sure that this is on. I have the pleasure of getting Audacity going, so that's nice, because it's a very good recording. If you guys are ever doing your broadcasts, use Audacity on your local device, and if you get it set up right, it works really well and gets a high quality studio thing. And as the Kartron experience goes, whatever we can do for free, so let's get you on, and hopefully you can hear me. Life is good. So I will require a tech check with you guys, and to make sure that you can hear me. All right, so could you please give me a tech check, and then we will begin. Okay, so the phone call should be good too. Hi, Debbie. And so hopefully everything's great. That's so nice.
Your lighting's a little off, it
Looks like a little dark. Do you want me
It is. Actually, let's just go like this and brighten up the day.
Why don't you turn the red lamp off too, because that's
Okay.
an imbalance.
I feel pretty. Actually, this is nice.
The red bulb's in the bathroom.
The bulb's in the bathroom.
Oh, never mind. This is
Oh,
perfect, just the way it is.
Yeah, that's better.
Cool. Yeah, do not go. Okay, guys, so, all right, so thank you very much for this pick and sound check. Life is good, and all right, I'm just gonna move forward because life is on schedule no matter what you go through. My name is Patrick McCormick, as you guys probably already know, and thank you for being here on this April 9th, 2017 broadcast of the Kartron Experience. This is the Awakening the Phoenix Weekend event ceremony, which is actually a pre-WESAC preparation event, series of events, and we are intentionally creating this dynamic which has several functions. And one of those is what Metatron's going to do as soon as I go, and the invocation of the protocols in the long-standing tradition of the masters will be done. The nature of what we are creating is pretty profound, even by the Kartron standards, because we have this situation to where the Phoenix rising happens to represent a very amazing possibility for the world. Now, you guys know that you don't need very many people to change the world, especially when you're using an advanced state. And so this intent of this awakening the Phoenix by all of these beings, let me see, actually, I really can go up a bit, so I'm gonna tilt the camera, and because I wanna see that sign, it's really cool. That thing, yeah. And so we have a situation to where this Phoenix rising is actually representing the rising of the alchemy of the soul. And Metatron will be talking about that from the throne of God in just a few minutes. So the nature of what we're doing here being alchemical, you will often run out of reference as a human. There is no reference when you are waking up, when you've used the third dimension as your primary frame of perception in the cosmos. So as Kartron says, quantum perception defines the universe. How you see it is how it's reflected back in the form of people and experiences and whatever, and your own possible environment that you create for whatever means, is then what you can use that will be a reference you take with you. Because if you don't, then you can go, oh my God, there I am, or there is my possessions, that's me, and suddenly you are without an identity, at least for the time, until you reconnoiter yourself and get yourself reset. Because when you're going up and waking up, and if you're used to being third dimensional, then it can be pretty intense, because you just lose all sense of self. During this time, there's a lot of what's called ascension symptoms, And that can suck too, because if you're getting dizzy, headaches, feeling weird, disoriented, lose what you were going to go across the room for, and you get this little skip of brain. It's more than just, cerebral flatulence. It's, something that's pretty interesting, because we are actually jumping different timelines and possibilities. And this Phoenix Rising, Awakening the Phoenix process this weekend is about bringing in the highest level of possibility for mankind. So even though you may have a small thing that you're doing, please never doubt the power it has to change the world. And so it looks like everything is good. We are good. Yeah, that's all good. And I'm going to just do this a little more because it's just pretty.
I can spotlight the sign a little bit better with these. If you will.
Let's just not tempt fate at that time.
Oh, it's easy.
Also, something else that I'm choosing to mention is that when you're doing this work and you're doing an event like this, one of the reasons why I've had to postpone these events by 15 minutes last night and 30 minutes today is because when things get going, there's these semantics of transdimensionalism that will cause you to have a schedule that happens on the fly. So you can plan stuff, and so it's like, oh, fluck, I'm going to give myself an extra 30 minutes today because I didn't get to sleep till 5 a.m. because, there was a happy, Viking dude that came through who is one of the biggest badasses of the North throughout history. And he had to, kind of help Rebecca become even more troublesome. So that was all good. And I guess I'll say, ask me in a year if it was all good. Because this is going to bring in a whole new level of information and energy. So when you are doing this work, allow for a change. It's kind of like adding 30% to your budget. So if you add 30% to your schedule, then you won't kill yourself trying to make things happen on the time that you do, especially if we're doing a broadcast at a certain time and people around the world are depending on that to open up. So don't be so tight, Allow the sphincter to relax when you're cleansing. And so it's like,
I just wish it was only one fly
all right, well, on that note,
on the fly.
fluffy toilet paper, and don't you love it when the Klingons start circling, the different planets in your star system, and they leave their little scout. So I want to thank you guys again, and Metatron will be coming through. Last night's event got blocked because Rebecca loves to have music, and she loves popular music, and so if you choose music, make sure it doesn't have copyright issues, so you won't be able to tune into last night till I actually go to a copyright school for YouTube and figure out what I do. Then this process today will be Throne of God related, and this is the Sunday service type of thing that we're doing. So last night also, Reverend Michael Shane and Rebecca Renee, the Dominion Angel transmitter, who is now going to be bringing in someone else in the near future, it was a hoot and holler already, got really waylaid because the energy was so powerful and different, so now they're not available today. So that's things that it's not your fault, it's just things that are happening, and you do the best you can, like you've seen me do all the time, and I thank you for your patience. So, in this tradition of the Masters, there is a protocols of protection and invocation and things like that. Phoenix Rising happens to be the most recent incarnation, the most recent descendant of the legacy of the long-standing tradition of bringing the Ascended Masters to this world, and bringing in their dispensations, their dissertations, and other transmissions such as the apportations that Reverend Michael Shane does and other things, which I know you guys went, what, is that real? Because Michael's going, you're like, whoa, okay, it's raining crystals from heaven. Whoa, let me watch that again. Watch it again. Watch it again. No way. So this is designed to tweak your cookies, and it does a good job. So Reverend D is one of the co-founders of this, a spiritual holder. He's not a reverend yet, but who knows, Reverend Randy is at this place.
I'm a reverend.
You are? Oh,
yes.
Good. Well, R&R.
Guru Starseed.
RDR&R. Sounds like a couple new rappers, right? we're gonna bring the masters through for you for today. Are, you know, they're gonna be here. It's like kinetic and potential energy, because, you know, RD goes out to the world and does things called day jobs and stuff, because real spiritualists have day jobs sometimes. And so I will talk with you later. Dee's gonna come in now, and she's gonna do her invocations of protocols, because of the tradition of the masters, this is what is being taken out to the world to be given and shown, and in a new way. This is about bringing in the new decrees, the new dispensations in the way that will bring through life. So, Reverend D, thank you.
Dee, would you pick up that pen? Thank you.
Is it bothering you?
It would be nice to have it picked up.
Greetings, everyone.
Oh, you
Good
should leave it.
morning.
Should leave it. Oh, hold on, here.
Okay, this way? This way?
Well, that goes in your ear.
Oh, good. There we go. Good morning, everyone. It has been fun here this week. Reverend Michael Shane came forth with 104 sacred apports. I know Patrick talks a lot about we're already protected because our vibration is so high. But I still have to revert back to my 30 years of tradition of invoking the masters and the protection therein. Please join me for our invocation. Dear Heavenly Father, Mother God, infinite source of all that is, we give thanks for your presence here today, and we affirm we are protected in divine light. We surround and seal this center in the golden armor of silver light. Nothing but God or good may enter herein, and all things not of God or good are forced to leave immediately, peaceably. Or peaceably, immediately, really. We affirm the Lord and Lady Masters, the real ascended masters of Shambhala, join us here today. We invoke the angels and the archangels into our midst, and we affirm their presence to guide us and inspire us as we communicate with the divine. We link our hearts and minds with the divine source through the breath. And let us breathe in 3 times deeply down to the belly. Exhale when you're ready, fully through your mouth. This exercise centers and balances us as we send our own energy down into the earth to tether us into the core. And we bring back up the dominion energy placed there by the angels. And we link this energy into the cosmos, up through the photon belt, up to where the divine source resides at the Godhead. And we bring this energy back down into our own selves. And we absorb very gently this divine source energy. It balances and harmonizes us on all levels of consciousness. It fills our person, our cells, and in between the cells with love, with peace, with divine spiritual healing. And we absorb this as we breathe throughout this communication. We ask that the Phoenix be present with us for this exercise today, in all that is sacred and holy and in accordance with divine law. So be it, so it is. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, sir.
Cords caught on the legs.
Okay, guys, so you said the sound lost on the video. Well, somebody else has the sound on the video, so let me know. And so please verify this before we get going. And so, oh, that's fine. And so, guys, just please verify that. And then there's one other thing, I think SG wants to show up, so let me see if he's available. Because that picture is shiny over there. I don't know what happened to Mr. Germain. It seems germane to the issue. I'll just bring out one of these.
You want this one?
Huh?
Saint Germain?
I'll just use these things. Something nice that's less shiny. Yeah, I'll just take a master picture.
Here you go.
This is nice. Thickness. Still voice silent wisdom is that thing that I just put over there, and that was the thing when Kartron was talking about how to get to the voice of God within during the still point, which seems like actually a very appropriate thing right now. Because Metatron is working. Okay, so good. The video sound is good. I guess D, it said, who's D on my Bluetooth, but it's okay now. It's all right. Little Plantronics, you'll be fine. So.
Oh no.
Here we are consoling the technology. It's like, smartphone, you made it too smart, now it's emotional. All right, so yeah, thank you for the background. We did throw it together, and it's so beautiful, and this is actually a demonstration that you can actually, if you really want to create your own background and stuff, with a little bit of imagination, or maybe a lot, and some tuning in with the reality of what you're doing, you can actually create an environment which exemplifies your destiny, so that then you can then give that to the world. And so actually with the minimal amount of energy compared to what it used to take when you're carving marble, getting all dusty and inhaling that stuff, is, you know, did a wire come loose? I don't know, I haven't checked all my wires. So is everything working now, Debbie? And please verify that as Metatron comes through. And then he is going to do something which I found out was possible today, and we're going to find out if you guys knew this. And it's with one of your devices that are here. It's pretty interesting. So yes, okay, good. Yes, Elga, your PC did a run around the room. See the little stinkers? They're supposed to be not that smart. Now it's running away from you. God, come here, you little laptop. It's like, oh my God, a smartphone. Sit, stay. More RAM, please. It's like, oh my God. Okay, there you go. Have some more chips. Yes. I thought of something to keep tech guys alive, because they forget to eat when they're doing tech work sometimes, and it was called, I don't know, megabytes. As a chip thing, you know, it's like, must eat, keep organic device going. This is my software application called a body. So Metatron, being the archangel who, he didn't fall from heaven, he had to go down to hell to take care of some business. Being like one of the original projections of it actually was there as the fabric as well, in a geometric way, before the planets and worlds were created, because they needed some reference. So it was like a matrix structure. I have seen the angels get refreshed, because think of Metatron like a grid that goes across the omniverse. And so, and there's all these rays of light in the mesh patterns. So when an angel's resting on a cloud, they're not resting on a cloud. They can lay in a matrix, and more of the matrix forms. So they're like laying in the energy field, which, you know, they jack into the cosmos, and they get all refreshed. So when they want a really big energy, they can find one of the bigger streams of this matrix thing, and then go in there and get charged up. So it's like they're hit from God. So it's actually one of those angel energizing systems as well. So it's really interesting to see things from that point of view. Metatron's going to come through now, and he comes in with like a very small point of geometry. All right, we'll talk to you later. Helga was having trouble. Yes, Elga, just tell it to sit, you know, and
Stay.
pet it or something. Okay?
Say stay.
Behave.
Stay, sit, broadcast now. Oh, it's fun. Her heart is so big. And also, how you guys may have trouble with technology because this stuff is not designed for that much love. Oh yeah. We'll see you later. Life is good. And no computers were harmed during the making of this ascension.
Ah.
Kiam talash mielandos, holam talam kiam, hiam talamash kiamalon, holam takiam talamantiala, hal kiam tamalantios. We will redefine your matter here and in your places with a substantial harmonic. You may want to turn the volume down on your computers, and also if it's too much for you guys here in your bodies, to have your ears less available to this. We are going to use this to create the harmonic in a way that will reconfigure things vibrationally. Is that okay?
Yes.
Yes.
You wish for me to operate the bow, sir?
No. We will show you something different with it.
Cool.
You can keep the air conditioning from running.
Want me to turn it off?
Yes, please. And that way it will walk instead of run.
Yes.
Thank you from all realms for attending this gathering where we will give the dispensations about the mysteries of that which you are knowing as the throne of God. Do you consent to us engaging you in the sharing of this wisdom?
Yes.
Yes.
It is the wisdom that as you get to the place where you can know it completely, it is this energy which becomes you, and therefore you begin to become less of this world and more of the auspices of creation itself. For you are not separate from this information. So this day we will give you your sample of the energy, yet it will begin the alchemy of transpermutation of your being. For you are not separate from this, and in oneness you will know that you are, and as becoming God, one with creation, which kind of spoils your separation game. And so, to offer this wisdom, you already have the nature of creation within you. And if you are looking for some advanced dissertation of knowledge, then you are not able to receive the greatest teachings, which are the simplest in nature. As this wisdom emanates from the source of the One, and it dispensates to the different worlds, such as this one on earth, then it must go into the constructs of form. And that is the nature of the geometry that then allows for this to occur. And so these designs, these portals of possibility, having been since creation began, imagine a crossroads of the matrix of my being in this form. Each one of these is a gateway. A gateway can form anywhere in the omniverse, and so with those with the knowledge and the wisdom and the power to be able to access it, you can then travel ecumenically abroad. However, it is this place that you are here to come and bring this information, this knowledge, this wisdom to this world, because this is one of the hotspots of the cosmos. That is why you get to CameraFi your day from time to time. Well, this is Texas, and it's no coincidence that this is the same shape as the badge of the sheriff. And so it is that nature, because that's a macrocosmic, a larger jurisdiction of administration and venue than the local authority figures in your legal systems in the United States. And so to know the throne of God wisdom is to become it. In the extreme level, Enoch had to become it to the degree where no longer could he return to the realm of matter. Yet Adam could not become it in any degree that was going to be substantial. And so the Adamic line actually was that which the souls that could not get to that level could have a home. So your earth plane became this sanctuary of lesser light. And this is where all of this, which may seem like what you would call a dumping station, a place of imprisonment, of cycles of lower nature, of intense density and polarity. But it was important to have this place where these beings could go, because we were not to enforce the light. We were to have a environment which would honor the presence and capacities of the rates of their evolution. You who have incarnated yet not removed all the knowledge of your purpose became the handlers, the managers of the souls, and also often the offerings, as many of you have paid the price time immemorial. And so we are going to share with you now the part of the throne of God that has never left you. This way, it can come from within. And so, that crystal temple of love in the heart of your body, being that altar of oneness, where the phoenix was placed in a cauldron to be the messenger and transmigrator of those things, taking your role of being that transmission between realms, so that you would be more free to become your light and not theirs, is the place where the heart of God exists. Kartron did inform, when placing these crystal temples of love and light in your heart spaces, that there was a cell, a single, basically a very small speck of the heart of God itself in there. And so if you have one microcosmic aspect of the heart of God, you have all of it. So the nature of your soul resting within that speck, as the drop is to the ocean, so doth the ocean reside within that. So the power of the wisdom also is there. Yet if you had eminent and omnipotent power of the wisdom of God to be able to alter this world, would you be doing this immediately? Would it be within the protocols of intervention? Would it be in rites of passage? And would it honor the lesser light called the shadow? So among these rises and falls of civilizations, of that which you know as your races, there have been these cycles that are rhythmic according to the procession of the celestial bodies in the heavens. This great clock in the azimuth of consciousness is that energy which then progenerates the schedule of evolution on the collective levels of this and millions of other worlds. And so, therefore, you, as keepers of the house of shadow, were facilitating this for us. And as such, in your great and mighty positions of forgetting and separation, did you, in your great and mighty ability to maintain the modicum of consciousness and beingness, became that cornerstone which was tempered as one of the strongest pieces in the new temples of light, which reside not only within you, but in the new earth as well. As such, there shall be your connections that will be given to you, to who you are in the new earth. So the nature of your soul, which becomes you now, in this realm of lesser light, of the detraction, of that which is not, of the yuga of night, shall now be graced with yourselves of the world of prophecy. So we are going to now ignite that smallest speck within you from the heart of God, and it shall become the sun that shall illuminate your lives. Do you accept this offer?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
This will shine the light on every crevasse of your beings, and you have many. And so if there is a lesser light there, it will rise up. It is your job in the universal way to love it to its fulfillment. Although sometimes it can trip what you call your triggers, and you can be riled up as the dust at your OK corrals is hard to see who you're shooting at. Darn that shadow. Oh God, that's right, that is me.
Oops.
It'll,
Oh, those varmint critters. That is words in Texas, yes?
yes.
Varmints and critters.
Yes.
Yes.
And victuals.
Yes.
That is
Yes.
food source, right?
Yes.
Is that the food made from the critters?
Yes.
Sometimes.
Possums. Armadillos.
And so Patrick heard something from you, Randy Robinson, which was squirrels are known as tree rats.
Yes,
Congratulations
thank you.
on having rats that live in trees.
Only in Texas.
They're cute.
Rocks too.
And so, the nature of your soul residing within that spark from the heart of God, which Kartron has placed, will now be immolated and illuminated. This invocation of the phoenix which was opening up. This may appear as the four directions, but if you look at it holographically, you will see that those are the four pillars which hold the upper gate of this temple. And so if you looked up from the center floor of a temple, this is the view that you would see up towards what you would call heaven. And so this pillar that becomes you, and this is that which was invoked within you. Remember, the phoenix was given to you to be the cauldron which allows this transmutation so that it could take upon its death and immolation your deeds as witness to the altars of man. For the phoenix and the cry of its Valkyries do not just carry a golden heart and the legends of such in the hero's journey of your race. It also is a what you would call a software program of celestial nature, which then is that which links in and harvests the hybrid, the purified highest version of reality. And so it is building the new earth, which every golden heart has within it, and this has been for thousands of years. And so this tireless creature's process now is targeting your heart and taking the burdens from you and taking the golden acts that you have done. And in this, you become one with the treasures of the new earth. Then let us begin to ignite that sun of 1,000 destinies. That is as a spark, so small, in your central foyer as they rev those engines in your parking lot here. They're getting the rocket ready to go up. Kartron would find everything that happens in a broadcast and make it useful. One time a delivery truck went by in a parking lot in California, and Patrick was broadcasting from the dash of his automobile vessel, and then he said, "Oh look, it's Jesus and Buddha delivering another load from heaven." And so it is within the nature of the soul that this shall rise within you. And instead of giving you endless dissertation, it is time to become the wisdom of God that you are. And then we shall share your part in that wisdom. Kiam talash mialandos holam takelam hola kiam tamalayam holam takiam tamalandos. As you stand before the temple gate of your heart, of God, of that crystal temple of light and love within your heart, see it ignite and become illuminated like the pearly gates of your New Jerusalem. But this is illuminated, a bright and shining gateway. Kiam talash mialandos halakalayim tam talama hishkiam modolomont halikiam damalan halatalom tishkamiandos. We have just opened up in what you would call a clockwise fashion the nature of the mystery of your soul within. Enter into the temple of love within your heart. And now we will bring in the essence of the oracle into your being and body. Kiam talamashialandos halam talakiam. This diagram, the gateway above and the upper portiere of your temple of love, now pours forth like a liquid consciousness of gold and pearlescence as it pours forth and goes into the walls of the crystal temples that we have created in your home structures a few days ago. And so allow this liquid to pour forth, and the angels will pour from the urns of heaven. And this is that construct, the substance of creation itself, which has yet to be formed, and this is the stuff of your destiny. Tiam talamang kia talom halatikiam halam takalom tikiam. It is as this pours forth, and it pours and rises up from the floor, through the walls, up to the ceiling again. And this is a part of your essence, for it is time for you to be as the seers of all ages. And it is this essence that as you do this, you shall know the mysteries of creation that man cannot. Are you supposed to keep this to yourself? Oh, heavens, no. For that is why these gifts are given, are they not? A gift is to be offered. So as you become this gift, then this becomes your message, your wisdom. And this is not some perpetuated wisdom that beings have heard before. This is made new with the love. And that is that you, the chalice, yourselves, are that which is the alchemy which adds to this oracle sight. And as it merges with you, then it becomes your wisdom, because it is your unique journey of many lives that colors this and creates that wonderful tonality of chromatic perception on the palette of creation, of the canvas, of the universe, of the new dawn. You can see that words would be falling quite short in light of this, as it stands before the greatness of who you are. So now it is time for you to begin to hear the language of your soul. For it not being separate from creation, it not being subject to the laws of the limitation of materialism and incarnation, by its nature had to be separate and not unlimited, and left alone to evolve in its unique ways, because these were the missing pieces for creation. It is like that puzzle, and those pieces that you knew were here, you found under your couch. You knew they were there, and that the whole thing is not done until you do the final pieces. And so as this happens now, you, the alchemist of the soul, are ready to espouse these wisdoms. This is the inheritance of ascended mastery. In this cabinet of the seance is flung open, and the energy built in the Holy of Holies of these places and spaces of God on earth is radiated out. Why do you think your lives are not working as they have? It was for that reality. It is through the patience of things not occurring in the way that you see them that is the great wise teacher of how to be instead of do so much. And so as you do this, it is the quiet gestures of the radiant ones as you learn how to be that which this energy flows through, that then it is your hands of God. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So as instruments, it's like you are the points of the compass. And if you move where the point of the compass rests, the whole structure can be imbalanced. So there is the stillness that is your new profession, that you will learn how, because if you are still, then your answers can catch up to you because they are very out of breath as you run around with your minds, looking for them. Kartron had the diagram, and it was, here you have the point, and then you have the circle of life, and the mind is the furthest thing out. And you get into your still point, and you watch the brain just keep going by, and it's like, what am I gonna do? I don't know about. Oh my God, what about? And it's like, on its little legs, it would run around. And what is the mind looking for? The answers to the questions that it created. And so the answers are trying to catch up to the mind. But it can't, because the mind, even though it has little stick legs, just is really fast. And it's like you are holding on and skiing behind a pickup truck in Texas. And you run into the garbage cans and street posts because it's not stopping, and it will beat up your bodies and wear you out because it's got to go and find out. And so, if the mind can slow down and get to a place, then imagine all the answers that will run into its backside. Because it finally catches up, and it will know that it is always known, and so it leaves questions, and the answers say, wait for me, but the mind is off and running. But these answers have the knowing, which are there, and if you then knew things too much, it would take away the mind's journey of not knowing enough. Does this make sense?
Yes.
And so, how do you have your mind slow down? Well, there is the still point, and then that is your reference and your observation point. You are juxtaposed, separate from yourself, from within. And this gives you the perception of the quantum state of the science of heaven, that the new earth is, that you are becoming. And so you are going, oh, okay, now I can watch my mind and be detached from it and not be all beat up by it, because it's very much on a rampage. It's got to go somewhere. The mind is designed to do that, and it's great. It's a good manager. It handles this world, but stop the mind and say, by the way, do you know what God is? It'll say, okay, gotta go. And it will just keep going because it cannot comprehend that which is not within its realm of design to perceive. The mind will find its place, not in admonishment, not to be punished, not to be put on with the little dunce hats. Bad mind. It will find its place in relation to creation of who you are as a self and a soul. And when it does, it will become a great participant in the process of that which is facilitating the cosmos to come in through you. And this is the makeup of your destinies. So your life is about to become much easier as you learn to work with the sciences of those things like manifestation, invocation, the sciences of vortex and attraction. And these are the workings of the gods. And so as you then are able to relax the self, you will be able to receive the user manual for heaven. You guys are writing it for us. Because even the angels and the masters, you notice how they just don't come down, hey, Saint Germain, what's up? Let's go to lunch. Although a lot of you say, oh, please, can Saint Germain join me for breakfast? And so, but it's you guys who are doing the mastery work. As ones who are separate from him. You're like, okay, great, this is wonderful. You are like these big chalices who are connected with the collective consciousness. And so, say, behind you in relation to that, you are going, okay, what are you doing to the perceptions of mankind in its possible awakening? Millions of times, constantly, this is happening around your world, because how many of you are noticing greater, more clear transmissions of wisdom and energy lately in your earth? And so it's like, wow, there's a lot more people able to tune into this vibe. Yeah, because the veil being thinner now, it allows for this dispensation. So the throne of God, being that reference, is a place that within you, that now we will ignite, will be that which you can then be all of creation while still being a separate me. This is very unusual as far as ascensions go, because usually it's like, okay, higher dimension, let's land it, boom. Oops. It's not even good for fertilizer down there. We need to clean out the foundation. But in this case, there's been an integration. There is even a dark light that has been from the interaction of the shadow and the light. This is the light that was the missing spectrum. And so this missing spectrum was that which now creates the tempering necessary of that frequency that can be the cornerstones of the foundation of matter in the world of spirit. So it's like water, please.
I was just gonna say, you need some water.
The strongest part of your generator. And so, look, God's hand delivers water to Metatron, news at 11. And it was a well-dressed arm,
Matches your shirt.
ready to dissertate. So you will be hearing more from that individual named Fino. And it is because he is finished, which is the Italian word for complete, with this world and ready to activate the other one. He, as a generation of awakening, represents those who are now already in their positions, and the revelations that come are now automatically boom. So what will your apportations or your dissertations be like? We await with breath that would be called baited in Texas. And so it is that energy that becomes you as the oracle to tell your story. In this is your wisdom. There's missing code set of your journeys has been implanted into that because the wisdom of God was dispensed among trillions of beings, so no one would have the full answer. Therefore, it would mandate the necessity of coming together of like-minded frequencies and ray streams as souls, coming to groups, and the true soul family frequency as you now complete your physical families and those covenants associated with that and humanity. So therefore, this new dissertation of frequency of your soul light is like, yes, this is where I belong. So there will be substantial levels of fulfillment coming to you. This fulfillment which becomes you, it's like there is no lesser and greater, is there? And so the masters are coming out of the chair and into the audience. Even the John Lennon one time through the Patrick, he used to bring through these beings, came through once, and people were waiting for him. And he said, we're waiting for John. And he's late. And he waited some more and said, he's always late. And so John Lennon went into the audience of his own channeling. And so it is that nature that you are becoming the master and the master is becoming you. And so the master's, what you would call a master, is now an observer to its own vision of self, because as you become that, they have all these different selves to be a part of. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You are not separate from them in that way. So then, imagine if Saint Germain said, okay, boom, and he came into your body and it left a little bit of him there and transmitted. So now it's a recalibration while still adhering to the protocols of intervention. You will be receiving new edicts this Earth year of 2017 at this level of time. And so these new edicts will be the decrees that will be those teachings that will join the new and the current Earth. And these designs will be allowing you to activate these things. So these decrees which you subsume within your being, perceive, reflect, attract, and project, then becomes this unique quality that is the missing link, that is you. This could not have happened without you then, could it? And so as you now realize that you are the one you are waiting for, and you let go of your process of having to be responsible for the others, you realize that now this is kind of a trust issue with the cosmos. You have every right to have that distrust, because look at what has happened. And that is why it is time to create a new past. One that is no longer bound by the covenants of your perception of what has been. And many of you may have found that there's this skipping record. God, please stop it with those stories already. It just won't go away. But those are decreed to be expressed, recognized, acknowledged for what they are, not shunned and moved. For isn't that part of a shunning when you say, just shut up? Because they're saying, oh, can you help me? I've got a slight glitch in my being. And I just can't get over that little crack in my possibility, because it just, urgh. So, Archangel Michael, please sound the clarion call, similar to the harmonic of this bowl. And we will have you come in, and we are going to take this past from you. The past that you have had to deliberate upon, ceaselessly in many ways, of the harms and the failings and the dangerments of your being that have been done to you. And as we do this, just know that this oracle, this seer energy that is in the very walls, the very being of your temples of love, will help lovingly take this shadow and this negativity and, in a sense, caress it, hold it, cradle it, and allow it to go home, because it too is tired. And so as this happens, then, of course, with every darker block in your temple that is removed, a new light one comes in, and it is not the next step up, it is from the top level. So you have a very bright, high ascended frequency right there at the sound of your soul that comes in and becomes your foundation. In this, your ceiling becomes your floor. Is this acceptable to you?
Yes.
Does it make sense?
Yes.
So the next time that you may act a little crazy, you and others can realize that he's supposed to be that way.
Oh, I love that.
Convincing others will be with it.
The immortals have been so bored until you guys showed up. Thank you so much.
Happy to have.
A confession is that sometimes we will take your daily movie or whatever and we will speed you up 5 times and 10 times, and you will look like these really fast ants running around. Have you ever filmed yourself and sped it up? And can you keep from laughing at watching yourself going It is very much a new form of excitement upstairs. You will see a stirring. Randy and Dee, you have noticed that Michael, when he is asked, what do the masters think? He goes, okay. And he's stalling because he doesn't get the transmission. It's like, Okay, guys, help me out here. Because I am the almighty Noah and I'm connected with Maitreya who's talking about this. Come on, guys, work with me. That has gone through Michael's mind 5 times. This trip. And he's like, I could be doing something else, and there could be more of whatever. And so that is a wonderful part of his process. But how can he move forward when he has never left the past?
Exactly.
And so he's like, So we have given you these tools which will also help by how would you, okay, we are not going to tell you, we're going to ask you now in this realm of question. How would you use what we have given you to help others to be able to release, let go, and allow, and clean up, clear out?
Lead by example.
Yes, that's one way. But if you're leading, that means someone's following.
Just walk your talk.
That's still moving and having someone else follow you as we are listening to you talk and walk at the same time, realizing that you trained yourself in chewing gum as a child. It is even simpler than that, Randy. It is just to allow that energy to do what it does. The universe is ready to really come in and fully assist. So Fina, you are looking around like, I'm going to keep searching because there's something there. Relax and allow this energy to come from within. So the heart energy that we've given you, being from the heart of God, we are now going to spark that little piece of the mind of God, and it shall become the great and mighty sun within your temple of love in your hearts. So go to the grand foyer, see that spark that is suspended, and the pi formula, 2/3, 1/3 in the center hall, actually the grand foyer. Kolam talash mialandos, hikiam tomalon, halam takalam, tikiam tamalakotapon. As this goes into the first layer of its emoliation, we now invoke the second level of heaven to start coming in to this other core. See, heaven is not the throne. It is not the crucible. It is not the heart and mind of God. There is different stations of creation that are relevant to the perception of necessity of your creation of earth here. And so we are going through this in the different layers. So in the second heaven now, this is the place where the administrative level of celestial winged ones do administrate. And so this will give you the issue, the protocol, the proclamation energy, which will then go to your soul and trigger that. And it will then be able to be prepared to go out to the world, which you will do in 1 Earth month if you are part of that Wesak experience. Kom tiam tomalan, hikiam tomalan tikialan, halam talaman, holam tikiam, holashkiam tomalanta. And now we add your third layer of what you would call heaven, and we are just going to ignite this, and we're going to allow the oracle energy to pour forth, almost like a liquid gel upon the surface of the sun within you. And this is the transmigration that allows for the light that is so pure for the world that it would burn it had it come unto itself without recall or recantation, because it had to be diminished in power to be able to honor the relevance of corporeality. This then is the transmigratory field of the liquid of the oracle, thus adding the wisdom which then can conjoin with your perception and then become one and merge alchemically with your intellect and your mind. Now feel this flowing, and this goes up to the mind itself. And this is this beautiful golden pearlescent energy that is going into your consciousness, into the Holy Trinity, the pineal pituitary, and the seat of intent, behind your eyes, underneath the ledge of your brain. as we create this holy tetrahedronal state, we then also create the holy tetrahedronal state in your heart. So from your mind, look down into the temple of love, and you will see that that floor plan of my cube, the Metatron's structure of creation, then forms together. And now we will join this together in the area of your expression of your throat, and this shall become your Merkobic temple of light and wisdom for the world. So feel these two joining together, and in the seat of wisdom that will be expressed how you interact with the world, this shall become you, and this wisdom shall just emerge. The best way when building with whispers is to be able to listen and hear in the stillness of all creation within you as it becomes creation itself in this world. So that is what we are leaving with you. This love, this light, this illumination of God and the throne. Thank you so much for having the phoenix within you and the rising of your soul as it becomes your elixir of life. This will transmigrate you, and as you release these things, you are learning to be the greatest forgiver of self, so that then you are available as the instrument of God. Thank you, and this is the Throne of God dissertation on this 9th of April 2017 in this layer of time on your planet Earth. This is Metatron. Farewell. It's so weird when Metatron comes in, because imagine what happens to the time space where you know, oh, what day is it? Where am I? All goes away.
That'll be nice.
And you're like, oh, great. I don't even know what planet I'm on. Oh, that's right, I'm on TV. And so it's pretty interesting as he goes, so we make sure to honor that and have it leave. Okay, so then the next thing, guys, will be Kartron. He's going to do a consecration, which is creating a holiness state for this world of Phoenix Rising. And I gotta see what we're supposed to do. Well, gee, thanks for the advance notice. No, they're gonna tell me, or it's just gonna happen. Kartron is an interdimensional being from the realms of essence. He's quite a card, as many of you have found out. Ever since he found that part of my brain that has fermented jokes, you know, he's played with them and created these really interesting perceptions. So he'll mess with you as needed. And so is that one on up there, or did we?
Yes, it is.
This one?
Okay,
Yeah.
good. That's nice.
It stayed on until it has this one.
Okay, good. I'm gonna check the temperature by touching that device, because it does get hot, and we want to keep this broadcast going. And this will last about an hour, and then you know, we'll be done and get ready for tomorrow evening, if the rain permits. We will mess with Texas again. It's kind of hot, so we're gonna take that off. Okay.
You want me to say anything?
Well, it'll be, yeah, so I'm gonna intro that.
I guess he had the same idea as me.
Do you wanna, so we're still broadcasting, do you need to, okay. Yes,
So
for
that I
those
can
who've
pay
had
attention.
coffee, we understand, you know, how coffee works, cause I use it all the time. This is the time for a tech check, guys. Okay, yes, Joanne T, that was interesting. Metatron always is spectacular. So as we get in ready for the Kartron, you know, Reverend D is going to also do the same thing, and you probably have protocols for closing a thing.
Not necessarily.
Okay, good. Well, then we'll just do the opening of the next level, and there is an orange paper. Yes. Okay. So, yes, we're going to give you a few more minutes, and it's nice to be polite to ourselves because it's been really interesting. So this one is going to be about Sunday. Okay, consecrating the Phoenix, and so this one is going to be basically a consecration is to pronounce something of a holy and sacred nature. And so it's time for the Phoenix to be, in that way, issued forth. And so that's what Kartron is going to do on this time. Good, I'm glad that the video and audio work. No glitches, it's working great. We'll keep track of that though. We want to keep it cool because my phone loves to get hot, as you know. And so, thank you guys for sharing how amazing that is. In fact, I think I'm going to try and put this, hot and cold compressed reusable, the latest for the Samsung device, so it doesn't explode on the plane. I'm just kidding.
Tape? You want tape for it or just,
Huh?
you want some tape for it?
No, I'm just going to, oh God, I can't even tell. Well, actually, it'll show up.
Really tricky to get it on there, you know, without touching a button.
Well, actually, you just kind of lay it on there. Yes, it is. That's okay. Ah, you little sneak. All right, we'll just kind of do the best we can and not waste haste. It just has this. Again.
It might cover the.
Oh, I see. So.
The photo eye's on this side, so.
Yes, it is.
I started, when I first did it, I saw it come over, oops, you can't do that.
No, this is a very sensitive. You little sneak.
Do you have another one of those tripod things? You can place it on the other
Okay.
tripod.
And so, Dee, we're gonna have you do what you do best. Well, you do a lot of the best things.
Well, I don't know about that, but I sure give it a good go. Wasn't that amazing? One thing I think we all need to
Oh,
really remember.
Here.
Oh yeah, this thing.
And just in case it doesn't work, speak loudly.
Of all the things we really need to remember when we're working with this divine energy is to not hold on to it. And it's a kind of a human thing, I think, to try to grasp it and preserve it. But if we hold on to it, then we hinder its purpose, and we don't allow it to do the work that it needs to do for us and for the world. And so when you find yourself holding your breath or getting stuck in the moment with the energy, erase that stuckness, erase that memory, take a breath. I'll just allow it to cruise past you and know that it's not a stagnant energy, and it's not an energy that's going to dissipate and not be there for you. When you're working with this type of energy, you just have to allow it to flow around you much like water in a stream. And so we focus on the energy, we focus on the vibrations, we focus on the breath to get us there and to get us back as we harmonize with the world and our universe, and we keep our balance in all ways possible. That's why we tether down into the earth. It's not easy doing this work. I think many of us find ourselves a little bit misunderstood, I suppose. But most people who find us a little misunderstood are a little bit, maybe they're a little bit wise or a little bit afraid of the answers if they question us. So my motto is always, try to keep your head down and your mouth shut. But bring in those things to your office space or your home space or wherever you are that help you keep in harmony with the universe. It doesn't do the world any good if we freak out. And when there's panic energy around or the group mind that's not being balanced, It's easy to get kind of tied up in it, and so go back to the breath. It's easy, really, go back to the breath. Take that moment to take a walk around your building or run up and sit in your favorite place and breathe and just know that God and the divine and the masters of the ascended Lord and Lady Masters are there with us all the time. We just have to ask. And so, part 2.
Yeah.
Thank you all.
Isn't it great? We're finally getting things figured out so we don't have too big glitches, just maybe little tiny ones once in a while. I don't know if you guys ever came up with that level of using your bell, but how was that?
The bell,
That's the
the bowl.
gong show.
Oh, everybody loves it when I do that, what you did there, getting it to vibrate like that and sing.
I was actually still hearing it like 5 or 10 minutes
Yeah,
after
easily.
you
It kept
stopped.
Actually, when Metatron was speaking,
It vibrates with your voice.
it was over there vibrating the voice.
I can hear every word, so if
I
you
was still
listen,
hearing the ring
That's
in my
what-
ear for
That
like
thing,
10.
it's like,
from the vibrations of his voice while it continues.
yes.
It's not stopping.
And so everything's working, and I'm gonna not play dice with that phone because, you know, it can get a little warm and it's hard to put ice packs on it because it gets a little touchy. Kartron's gonna come through and he's gonna do the consecration of the Phoenix, and let's just make it happen. This is good. Touch not the things of God, otherwise the stage will mess up. Because you never know. Once you get things set, have you ever noticed that when an artist is painting something and they don't know when to stop, and put their
Yes.
signature on it?
Yes.
And it's like, that's enough, just stop it, leave it alone. So I'll see you guys later. Kartron's gonna come through, and let's see. Yes, Elga, all right. Elga is crying. Yay, we make people cry. We'll see you guys later. Oh, Elga, you know, thank you, Dee. Oh, that was Joanne T. I lose track of where the countries are these people are from. All right.
Elga's in Canada, that's all I know.
Dee, you said something about being a little misunderstood.
Yes.
She's a brat sometimes. A little misunderstood. Have you noticed that she's very misbehavioral?
It could happen, yes.
Yes, it is. And so, when that girl comes around, misunderstood, you just have to deal with it because she's the son of Murphy.
Oh, my favorite entity.
Troublesome neighbors, and they show up to eat all your food sometimes. We would like to thank you guys for attending this. We're going to consecrate the Phoenix, and we deliberately did not tell Patrick what the heck was going on, because he doesn't need to become and be a part of this. But we are going to actually take the Metatron's cube and put a glass of water on it to get a really nice charge. And so, there is the substance that we are going to use. You have a working lighter, but not the cauldron.
Yes.
Good, because the cauldron would take too much things to deal with. Because the miscalculated channel that is still trying to find his body and get some sleep at the same time, that got messed with when a certain northerner showed up, is now at the level of starting to come together and retain composure, and that will be Reverend Michael Shane, preparing to do the apportation and seance. But Michael's a trooper, he recovers very well. We're just going to get the thing that will set the tone, and we are actually going to transmigrate this essence into your living rooms wherever you are. One moment, please.
Palo Alto?
Palo Alto, Palo Santo.
Palo Santo.
Yes, we
Palo
brought
Alto's the
California
city.
with us, Palo Alto.
Nice place.
It is for an industrial part of California. Patrick is doing really well, so we will not admonish him and put him in purgatory for missing a small piece of wood. And we will use the oil instead. And this, if you want, this is the rose oil, water, if you want to spray that on your faces. And Randy, you are keeping track of the battery rate on that phone. Would you guys like a spray?
Yes.
And if you want to put just a spray in your water, you will taste that as well. And so the Palo Santo is that which will be good for the oil. We are taking this essence and transmigrating it to you like we said. Palo Santo is one of the well-wishing woods, like alderwood in the Bible, and this takes away blocks to extreme abundance. And so this is that which will be part of the consecration. Have you noticed how Patrick is doing better as far as being resilient when he has so many broadcasts in a row? He is integrating, like so many people, into this world of being able to get some modicum of integration that allows him to be able to come in and remain functional according to what this world requires for you to succeed in your destiny. Part of the integration of these greater purposes that you have has been the bane of sages and seers alike throughout the time of mankind, and so therefore it is that energy that is now coming in more succinctly. Many of you do not have your new scripts yet. Have you noticed that?
Yes.
Like, what the heck am I doing? Oh, Randy, like you need 10 more quantum generator things to do.
Just one script. At a time.
You as a soldier knows that it is on a need to know basis.
Uh-oh, what was that?
%49%.
Okay. One moment, please. These new devices are so pleasant to work with. Home. That's what that little thing that looks like a house is.
Yes. You're using mine, that's right, my Android.
Well, we are making sure that they can hear this call here instead of here. Yes, okay, good. Why did you chirp? Don't,
Was that your phone?
don't act like that.
Huh?
I didn't do it.
Okay, I think that was his phone.
No, this did a creepy deepy.
Well, his did it,
His-
his did it too.
Phenos
just now.
did it too just now.
My Siri came on. I didn't touch it.
Welcome
She wants
to the
to
world
join
of
us.
phenomena.
It's the machines.
She has a question.
Okay, guys, report on this because the tech's getting a little goofy. Never heard of that before, have you?
Disney
Nah.
character.
It's the way it's supposed to be.
Patrick has often dreamed about taking a smartphone and torturing it when no one's looking.
Can I help?
And he's like, you little.
Play tic-tac-toe with it, it can't win.
Okay, good. It cleared up by itself. It knew that, oh, don't get on Kartron's side. Oops, too late, it's on the side. So, let us consecrate the phoenix. This is the final ceremony. If you are learning to integrate an energy, this is the process that will also assist you in be able to integrate more into the material world. It is the philosophy and the science of divine that is designed to not really integrate, because with the true divine teachings, you cannot really compromise them to fit into the little box. Patrick saw a cartoon once, and it showed this God being halfway in a book, and this person was shoving him in there, and it was the Bible, and he says, you just have to fit. And God just just couldn't fit into the shape of the Bible.
Like a squishy?
And it's like, so it's his butt, God's butt was sticking out with its robe. And it just didn't make sense to this guy, because everything's supposed to fit in my box of perception. And so that is what is happening now. You're being expanded. You notice how many of you who are familiar with the master's process always are there to be on the edge, to tweak you and just taunt you and get you to that next level and just push you on your edge just enough to where you don't beat each other up or go to war. And so it's like they have the stand down mechanism that will have the angels that will neutralize your aggro self, as they would call it. Because you are now evolving past this point where mankind has consistently said oops. And the oops went resounding through the cosmos as society and civilization and mankind have to start again, taking thousands of years to evolve. One of the keys that is recommended to keep in mind and consciousness and perception and heart is to maintain the solitude and the solace of the nature of the soul. Because how many of you are so busy with this that you forget what this is? And so you have this situation to where you have the world in your fingertips. But at the same time, how can you be aware of the world that is just waiting for you to discover just by changing your perception from the collective foci of the consciousness of mankind, which is now in the device, and just being a part of what is happening around you. It is that level of perception that is what is happening on a soul and spirit and mind and body level that is able to now be available to you, where it wasn't nearly as available during the last 4 falls or whatever. And so now you have the availability of heaven right next to you, next to your door, and there's very little in between it. Well, this is going to, of course, bring a lot of craziness up for people. It's like, you just have to fit into the Bible. You have to do that. It's just, this is the way it is. And imagine how tempting it would be for the universe to say, game over, okay, next, clean up on planet 4. But upstairs there's a lot of God beings and spirit guides and masters, and they love having fun. And so many of you are so serious. And so they're like, wait for it, put down the planet, come on, Saint Germain, it's okay. Okay, just breathe, transmute, transmute, transmute. It's okay. Let the little polarized ones, the 30s are doing well, aren't they? Yes, they are. But they just desecrated another one of my gifts to the world. And it was their gift that they were becoming, and we were this close. Sound familiar with all those folds of civilizations? But realize that in their states of beingness, they have been collecting the best of each of those folds. And so nothing has gone to waste or been lost. Well, here you are at this place of what to do now. But this is unique because you have the Phoenix, and you have these other things that were not available before. Oh, it was in the secret societies. If you do create a Phoenix Rising secret society, would you like to know what the good logo would be?
Sure.
Oh,
And so, guys, this we put in you. Remember, if it gets a little toasty, just deal with it, right? The inner tan.
That's what popsicles are for.
Yes, because the phoenix is designed to bake your booty from within. It is designed to really allow all of these changes to occur. So we are going to take what we brought in because it had to be decreed from the throne of God. Metatron brought in the new decrees, the proclamations from the throne to Shambhala. And now with the Wesak, which is happening in a month, that is when the masters will be reissued out and they will walk among your world. Why do you think you're being given, portal in your pocket? The true smartphone. Hello? Hello? Yes. Ah, okay, there I am. And so, this phoenix now is within you. It resides there. We've created 3 wonderful perches, like cats and phoenix birds. They love to be in the highest place. So, if somebody comes into your temple of love and you've opened up your heart and they just feel like they're being watched, it's because they are. And it's like, ooh, okay, little toasty, should I mess with their heart? I think I need to go now. Because you're vibrationally at the place where the whole thing can become a cauldron. The phoenix can fly around and emoliate your whole foyer. And now they are in the furnace of God. It is that level of energy and protection, thank you for bringing them in deep,
You're welcome.
that now we are creating a bridge. Because you guys are becoming vibrationally unavailable. You will notice that in your journey of life, that stupid is just finding harder time to keep up. Have you noticed that?
That's a good thing.
And so it's like, wait for me. And it's like, no. Get a taxi. And you're going to pay for it this time.
And here's the wrong directions.
Yes. Make your Google Maps mad by yelling at it and see what it does to get back at you. Then you'll find out how smart your phone is. You are now at lost.
I was there when I started.
Rebecca said she told her daughters when she did the GPS and it would speak, and the TomTom or whatever, that old thing you plug in. She said, yes, there's a little lady behind the desk in there, and she's telling us what to do. Really?
But a fool believes he sees. No wise man can convince otherwise.
And so, her daughter, who was a starborn, the one that is now getting ready to come into a perfected state of destiny, was the one that we found a great they took a picture of. The one in the little dress, and she's going like this, and this is what she'd say, hold you. And so Patrick has decided that is the banner of the New Age, the New Age movement. It's like, oh, get a grip. So when the light worker's saying, oh, this is terrible, it's like, hold you. It's like, just deal with it. Welcome to our bitch slap machine. Yes, just go in there and wait. Shout! You can come out now. Oh, we changed the door. You can get out, sure. But we don't have to tell you how. It's not in our contract. Because we're creating the environment of the world that we are giving back to you what you've given out to others. And in this reflective-based universe, as quantum perception defines the universe and is reflected back that way, all things of other people's making that they've given out and projected and enforced on others, this is how you do things, this is how I see things, so you're going to do that as well, is now coming up in their face. You've heard of the Cabal and the Illuminati and all of that. Oh, the big darkies, they're here. Oh, they were here thousands of years ago. You're just the most recent game of entertainment. And so just know that they have spent thousands of years creating the master plan of enslavement. Well, they get to have their own world. And they don't realize that they've been enslaving themselves. Well, we're going to artificially reincarnate and have the Illuminati keep having the same souls. And it's like, gee, talk about inbreeding. That's gonna be a real special world leader. Yes, master. Winner on planet 4. And so this is the energy that's happening as it's being reflected upon everybody in 2017. You have this thing that is in your face. So when you have this stuff, just let it go, deal with it. That's what the Phoenix is for. So now it's time to really bring it home, isn't it? Do you guys consent to us do what we're going to do? Because we're going to consecrate the Phoenix and you're going to help us all over the world.
Yes.
Yes.
And so, Kayla says, I am sure we are all nice and tasty, Olga. And she says, I love to be cooked from the inside out. I want to be well done. Think of someone 70 plus years old and they have a childlike voice and the biggest heart.
Yeah.
She's like, yes, I want to be cooked from the inside out, well done. So, let us begin this. Archangel Michael, please sound the clarion call as we open the portal to the Grand Hall of the Archangels. We now also open up a gateway to the Karmic Board and one to the Halls of Judgment. We also ask Saint Germain and Kuan Yin to open up a gateway to the Garden of the Gods for the states of grace to emanate on mankind as a conclusion of what we are doing with the consecration to the Phoenix, as well as open up the gateway to Shambhala itself. We now ask the Masters to assemble along with your higher selves and as in the center of your spirit guide councils and other grand minions. Nancy, we're going to stretch your spiritual muscles and just see yourself 10 times stronger in 3, 2, 1, now. Okay, Nancy, we're going to have you see all of the people that are participating in this right now, all at once. You are equally there and present. All you got to do is go back and forth. It's time for you to really grow up into your power, lady. And you know you can't go back. You as a seer and a holder of place, you're going to hold the place without your carbon-based life form being involved. Because you really, it's time, and we were going to so give you that cosmic colonic and have you let go of the issues that you've been holding on out of love, because you are so not alone. But are you ready to allow the cosmos to do its job in your life?
Yes.
Is everyone ready to actually have the universe be able to function without you having to feel like you need to micromanage it?
Yes.
Good. We will so call you on that because you said yes. Got you! Excuse us. Oh, yeah.
It's gonna be
Yes.
hard, but we're gonna do it.
Let's see.
That would
What's
be
smarter,
gentle and easy.
someone's
Easy.
ass or their phone? And so, as we do this, you get to release everything and go through all of this crap, but you got a lot of help. All this stuff you've held on to that you are not allowed to grasp anymore, it will be forced. You notice how the universe always wins in a tug of heaven and peace? It's like, it doesn't let go. It is like the robin that will get the worm. And if you've never seen a robin, you can watch the videos and it will just keep pulling on that worm because that is mine. So the cosmos will take your issues from you. The Phoenix is a specialist in it, but it does it so well that there's usually nothing but ash left. And so we're going to help you make an ash of yourself today. And so as you do this, Nancy, we tell people not to be involved on a personal level. This time we are going to make you be involved on a personal level because we're going to take from you those things that are now encumbering you so much that you have to make a choice on whether you're going to remain on this planet or not. And so as you do that, everything that you have not been is now you are becoming. You will notice that there's all these new territories of self. And it's like, whoa, this is interesting. What is it like to not be what I have known? Well, that is part of the balancing of your pendulum as you get to this place, and then you can wake up to the level and you're out of this weird daymare that's going on that you've had to deal with. Well, as your jobs are done, you get to now get up and go to the continental breakfast at the Hotel of Ascension. So that's what the Phoenix is doing. Thank you, great and mighty councils. Archangel Michael, please assemble the councils of the angels of wisdom, of love, light, the causal board. And we're not inviting the Galactic Federation. They have to then get the note later on because they're not invited. Na 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 na. You always invite us. Yes, we do. But, yes. See, got you. Ha ha. Later. And so, councils, thank you for attending the sacred enclave of awakening. Invoked the consecration of this phoenix. We have this situation on our hands that now this is literally not only the alchemy of a small center in Austin, Texas. This is ready to be the alchemy of the soul. And then also that goes out to the alchemy of the group souls, which then also goes to the alchemy of the whole human race. This is about the phoenix rising in fulfillment of prophecy of every culture in the world. This is about awakening to the divinity within that has been forsaken. So as this happens now, we are going to have you go to the temple of love in your heart again, which you're still there, so just see yourself in the foyer. And now as we emoliate the other gateway behind that foyer, we then go through that to the great hall. Remember, it was that beautiful big hall where you can have a gathering of basically as many beings as you want. The reunions of the new earth happen within the heart of light. And so as you see the cauldron of the phoenix, it is there in the funeral pyre of its awakening and release. And now we are going to burn, have the phoenix go home, because it's time to bring these decrees from earth to heaven. Outside of your temple of love is the world going very, chaotic in its normal day. And so that, as you are not connected to it, we are going to rise it up. So turn around and stay in your great hall, in your crystal temple of love. And now we join you all together in this love to become as one, yet as beautiful and separate beings of light and guardianship. Now we open a great portal above, based upon the Metatronics cube, but also specific to the design of the necessity of the destiny. And now we open this gateway, and this is the giant collective Macobic vessel, and we link this into the upper crystal matrix grid, which is outside of the atmosphere of Earth. We also link in to the upper electromagnetic grid, which is in the upper part of the lower stratosphere. This joins into a matrix. We open the gateways there, the portals of transmutation. We send pillars down to the inner earth, to the core of the mother, and these pillars are 50 to 100 miles wide. And they go down into the earth, and they join as pillars between dimensions. Now from your great hall, you will now, with us, join as we ask the Phoenix to give the cry of the Valkyries out and illuminate every pillar of light. So the Phoenixes will all cry from its urn in the great hall within your heart now. And as these pillars receive this, you see they are like strings on an instrument, and they start resonating and vibrating specific to your purpose and specific to the purpose that they are about to imbue to the world. And so feel this vibration, and it becomes this symphonic harmonic. A sound starts happening and chords start forming, and this is the song of the cry of the Valkyries. And as we do this, this resonation goes down deeper and deeper and deeper, getting ready to touch mankind itself. So as we do this, know this now, we're going to take your code signature of those who are part of this, and we're going to have it be the frequency, and it's going to project out, and it reaches the pillars. This is your unique signature, your harmonic, And this is your code. This is the thing you carry in your destiny. This is your gift to mankind because you're about to leave humanity. And so now, as this resonates down this tone, adds this wonderful quality to the harmonic of that string. And this then goes down, and together they go down into the realm of man, and this then pours forth as it lands on the surface of the earth, and it pours out like the radiant light of heaven in liquid form. And as this pours forth, it emoliates and it deluges all of humanity. And as it does that, it surrounds them with this love and God and light and fire of heaven. Transmuting all things, all the heavinesses and all the burdens, because the gift of the phoenix is to be able to release the burdens of life. And so you, as the keeper of the phoenix within your heart, now radiate this out. And feel the phoenix now breathing the breath of fire from your urn out, and this fire now comes down, and the fire now enters the realm where all of this liquefaction of consciousness of light is. And as it pours forth, it goes out through the realm of humanity and even into the inner earth bases and inner cities. And this is the trigger saying that prophecy has begun. And now feel this flame go into the heart of every man, woman, and child and creature in the world. And this is the flame of the phoenix to ignite the true nature of the human soul, which is love. See that love be like a contagion of the divine, and it takes over the host of their bodies, and it is pure love of heaven divine as it burns all of this on the funeral pyre, of which their offering of the burnt nature is turned to ash, of all of the issues and weight of density of their lives. So feel this being burnt by the breath of the phoenix. And with this now we have Metatron issued the decree from the throne of God to Shambhala, and the Master shall then issue this decree that all things shall be made new again. And this is the order of the phoenix that shall allow the light to be given into the deepest parts of mankind. And in with this is the love of God. And as this is getting ready to be released, what will occur will be the return of the lavender love of God. So feel this blanket of Saint Germain's energy, very dark, deep purple, like the flower at the ceremonies, deep purple. And so somebody's tuned in. And so as we do this, everybody now feel this love go out into this state of being, and then as it emoliates all of humanity, and this love consumes and makes all things new. It takes even within you any burdens of heaviness that you may have. And this blanket of Saint Germain underneath will now be lifted by us, Kartron, and Saint Germain and all the minions, and you will also from your temples also lift this blanket of violet from below humanity and the inner human cities, and we're going to raise this up and bring it all the way up to the upper portals of transmutation. 1, 2, 3 now. So just see this going up in all directions in this world, this flame gathering and burning on its surface, taking all the burdens of humanity in one great and mighty breath. Now, you who are the phoenix, breathe the fire of the phoenix within and breathe it out to mankind now. Consuming all with the love of heaven. as this purple blanket goes up and goes to the bodies of mankind from below the earth, up through the realm of man and its creations, on up, past the buildings and all these things of man. One more breath, and lift it out to take the burdens of mankind as the angels lift with you now. Pushing it all up and out from your human realm. As this goes up in this blanket of violet, we now allow this beautiful flame of love to come into the heart and ignite the true nature of the soul in every human and those that are not human. And let the truth of this wisdom now become them, and as such, it is time to take the illusion's mask off of them so that they can reveal who they truly are. So see this happening all over the world, that people are able to unbecome what they are not. And so, as we do this, see with the knowing of God that you are not separate from the power of the throne of God. See the world being healed and made whole again. And now this love burns through this, and we're going to give the pearlescent energy of the fulfillment of that prophecy of the New Jerusalem, the spark of hope and light, which will then ignite the path of destiny and that which is fulfilling on their life quest. So feel that going in and filling in their hearts. This action doth fulfill the covenant of the Phoenix and mankind to this date. Now it is decreed from the throne of God to the ascended masters, and they shall issue forth. And for this earth month, this will be building to release the burdens of mankind, and then the light of Shambhala itself will be given during the Wesak, and this shall be then integrated into the soul of mankind, releasing it from the raiments of shadow and the identity of what is not, from their soul. And this then is the consecration of the Phoenix. This thing made holy shall now be issued into the earth, of which there shall be proclamations and decrees from this great and mighty altar of God's mighty flame. In this constant state of alchemy shall you know God, because it is within this movement around you, this chaos of accomplishment, that you shall know the greatest peace and the greatest stillness in creation in your soul. So as the Phoenix becomes you, it will reside in your temple of love in your heart. And this shall be your gift to humanity, because we will summon you to your rightful places as you complete these things. In this we are complete, and this is the consecration of the Phoenix that allows for this to be able to be given out to the world. What this also does is create a resonance, because this is already within them. They will feel drawn to this. This is a vortex, and it is also a re-engineering of the human software program, because they just needed a boost. There's a lot of glitching going on, and it all had to come up so that it could be very surface level and more accessible to us, and we just cleared this out. So the consecration of the Phoenix is basically the fulfillment of its destiny. So now you can just float along and watch what happens.
Yay.
And then you can sit there and have a good laugh, Dee, when Randy says, "I'm done." Because they're just waiting for him to say that. He's like, okay, it's done with that step, and here's the next phase. Yes, and he thinks that he can go to someone else who, oh, he'll take over. Okay. Hopefully the phone worked, because this thing decided, I don't want to do that anymore. Hello, once again. And so, everyone, thank you so much for being part of this consecration. There's no urn, there's no burnt offering. And so, as we complete this, we are now going to have your phoenix ignite itself in the urn of your great hall. And as this happens, this great and mighty fire will take the burdens of mankind upon its heart and soul, and its mind and its body. For surely you have some of the greatest weight in creation. So heavy have your burdens been, collected again and again and again. 1 million we've collected, oh, we can get 1 million more. That is because you are the harvesters of the shadow. In this, the phoenix now rises to take this up and create the fire of alchemy of love in its stead. This will be issued not only to the earth in one earth month, but also to the universe. This is Kartron. We are complete. Farewell.
Goodbye.
Hi guys, how you doing? Please report. Did any of you get to escape? Ha! Never on Kartron's watch. Because he knows when you want to check out. Oh, come on, it's just gonna start getting good now. You know, that other stuff you've been putting up with. Guys, this was really wonderful. I want to appreciate you being here for this April 9th, 2017 consecration and dissertations on the throne of God and Phoenix Rising. So the Phoenix is definitely rising. And so it's ignited. And boy, that's going to create a hoot and holler time, won't it? People are going to get a lot of tans now. Might as well start from Texas, because we like it big. So this is great, and let this now be the foundation upon which that Phoenix can be available to go to the different parts of the world. And in that, there is this thing, this vision that we are seeing, that during that WESAC, we're going to use that energy, and we're going to start joining the points of light that want to have the similar philosophy right there, maybe in the comfort of their living room, where they can gather with their friends and stuff. Because this is about the alchemy, the constant change of self that is necessary to be available for that next amazing self. So as you do this, then the Phoenix concept itself, it's not some physical structure you need to rent an office space for. As it is within, it's people who have this in common and want to do this together with like-minded and soul nature, vibrationally speaking, can just get together and do this. This is the new temple, which is about this free and easy gathering, this loose connection of centers and points, or whatever you want to call it. It doesn't have really any structure, because a flame, it's like telling it, okay, burn like a square. It just doesn't work, right? It's a flame, you know. And so this is what the Phoenix is about, this constant free-flowing interchange. It's like the new Jacob's ladder that is in the quantum state, constantly able to interact. The Phoenix is perfect, because imagine what we're doing by freeing it up from this thing of where it could only go and just tell the golden heart story. But now it's going into everybody, and this is the consecration of the Phoenix rising into this. So on this Kartron broadcast, that's what our intent was. And so basically we fulfilled this, and now, weather permitting, we're gonna have the quantum field generator experiences, but you know, full moons. And last time we came here in 2015, the lakes went up 70 feet or some exciting thing, but it got really wet. and so streams couldn't be crossed, and it was very liquidy. And so this is good, whatever it is. We'll let you know how it is and what we can provide on these quantum field generator experiences. But know that as you've been a part of this, oh God, look what you've done. So we reserve the right to blame you whenever we want, because you did this with us. And it's so cool because we're so grateful for your participation. This would not have been possible. I would have stopped this a long time ago had you not continued your support. But you kept doing that, and you're finding out that through the protocols of intervention, okay, I've got to show up, and I'll do another one. And for whatever reason, you like looking at this mug. So instead of audio, you get video. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And so that's good, and you guys are helping me launch into my destiny as we plant these seeds, like here in Austin, Texas, of Phoenix Rising. So now, the next thing will be probably 7 or 7:30 Central Time. I'm going to say 7:30. That will broadcast like we did before, weather permitting. It'll be perfect. And we're going to do a beautiful, I'm going to inaugurate my tabernacle if it's not raining. I'm going to bring out the other quantum field generator. And if not, you'll see it sometime because it's all perfect. Thank you guys for attending. This is wonderful. And in closing, I'm going to play this song, which is really cool because this is, and it's called One Hell of a Ride. There it is. Let's see if we can get this going. And it's not even oh, I see. Okay. And so this is about somebody who had an old car, a truck he saw. And so this is like, it's, I swear this guy should actually, you know, give this to Chevy. It's amazing. Play, life is good. We'll see you guys later. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Okay. Sandwich chicken,
Sandwich.
sandwich,
Chicken.
sandwich chicken,
Chicken. Here you go,
no
Darren.
mayo.
This is what Barbara yesterday.
The stuffed onions, this way. Medium and sandwiches. Everything else?
Mustard bags?
Sure.
Mustard.
No mayo.
Yeah.
Chicken.
Right, chicken, hot.
Saw a beat up Chevy pickup while out on a sunky drive, and made me think of my first truck that I
Okay.
drove in '65.
I'll be back.
Boy, she's still out on the road, or somewhere rusting peacefully. And if that truck and I could talk, would she even speak to me? Cause I ran her off the road, laid rubber in the parking lot.
Cheese.
Oh, I popped her punch and punched her.
Patrick, want me to make you a
Them
sandwich?
times I ran her hot.
You are still broadcasting.
And I never changed her oil. And I showed no respect. And with me behind the wheel,
What was that?
she must have been a nervous wreck.
Am I hungry?
I
I don't know.
just didn't mean that much to
Making
me.
a sandwich.
But the further I get down this road, the clearer I can see. The best days of my life with that Chevy by my side. With that truck and I, it's all I'd like to see. You were one hell of a
That's right.
ride.
Huh?
This light is flashing.
Yeah, I saw it.
One hell
Yeah.
of a ride.
It's on a hell of a ride.
I think we're having visitors.
Well, the batteries are starting to go.
Yeah, I thought.
I hope she would not repeat like what happened with my girlfriend right there in your seat. And you laugh if I told you that a truck could change your life. But that girl that I went parking with, well, she became my wife. And back then, that truck just didn't mean that much to me. But the further I get down this road, the clearer I can see. And the best days of my life were with that Chevy by my side. And if that truck and I could talk,
good to see you.